The Senate chamber was unusually still that morning, the kind of stillness that hangs in the air before a storm. Cameras buzzed quietly, pens clicked nervously in the hands of aides, and eyes darted between two men on opposite sides of the floor, Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Both men had reputations for quick wit, iron determination, and the ability to command an audience. But no one could have predicted that what began as a routine debate would erupt into one of the most fiery and unforgettable clashes in modern congressional history. Kennedy leaned back in his chair, his drawl calm but his words sharp as he rose to speak. With all due respect, he began, pausing long enough for the silence to deepen, "What we got here ain't leadership, it's a masterclass in excuses." His words sliced through the chamber like a cold wind. Schumer's brow tightened, his lips pressing into a thin line as he prepared his rebuttal. This wasn't going to be a polite exchange of views, it was going to be a battle, fought with words sharper than steel. For weeks, the Senate had been gridlocked over a sweeping economic bill that promised relief to some but threatened rising costs for others. Schumer had rallied his party, painting the legislation as a lifeline for struggling Americans. Kennedy, however, saw something different, what he described as reckless spending, hidden interests, and promises written with ink too thin to hold. The stakes weren't just political, they were personal. Millions of families sat on the edge of financial uncertainty, waiting to see what their leaders would do. Schumer was the first to strike back. "Senator Kennedy," he said, voice booming with practiced authority, "the American people elected us to solve problems, not sit on the sidelines throwing rocks. This bill puts food on tables, roofs over heads, and medicine in cabinets. The only thing your opposition puts on the line is delay, division, and dysfunction." Applause erupted from his side of the chamber, echoing through the marble walls. But Kennedy didn't flinch. He stepped forward, his eyes narrowing with the focus of a man unwilling to retreat. "Leader Schumer," he replied, his tone steady yet biting, "you can dress it up in Sunday clothes, but a bad idea is still a bad idea. You're telling folks this bill will save them, but what you're not telling them is that it'll chain their kids to debt they ain't even old enough to vote on yet." His words drew gasps and murmurs, even from senators who hadn't expected him to hit so hard. The clash grew hotter. Schumer shot back with statistics, charts, and promises of prosperity. Kennedy countered with stories of real families he had met, farmers who couldn't afford fuel, single mothers choosing between rent and groceries, small business owners drowning under taxes and regulations. Each story struck like a hammer, turning numbers into faces, policies into human struggles. The tension was palpable. A